maple syrup, moose meat, and a mountain of cheese curds. Canada's food is more than just comfort. It's cultural code and a casserole dish. Today on Brain and Belly, we're counting down the 5 iconic foods that didn't just feed Canadians, they defined what it means to be Canadian. Oh, Canada, land of politeness, hockey, and the food that slaps harder than a snowball in January. This isn't just about national dishes. This is about what fed a country into becoming itself. Let's dive into the 5 iconic foods that put the A in identity. Coming at number 5 is the Tourtière, the meat pie with a mission. Before you judge this as just a meat pie, understand this. Tourtière has been warming French-Canadian tables since the 1600s. Traditionally made with pork, beef, or even wild game, it was served at the Réveillon, a massive feast after Christmas Eve Mass. It's basically the French-Canadian version of a medieval protein bomb. Every family has their own recipe, and every family insists theirs is the best. Spoiler alert, they're all delicious. At number 4, Nanaimo Bars, dessert that doesn't require baking or apologies. Named after the town of Nanaimo, British Columbia, this 3-layer no-bake sugar bomb has everything. A crumbly base, a custardy middle, and a thick chocolate top. It's like a Canadian lasagna for your sweet tooth. No oven, no fuzz, just sweet passive aggression in dessert form. At number 3, Bannock, colonialism meets campfire. This one's controversial, and for good reason. Bannock, a simple flatbread, was introduced by the European fur traders, but over time, indigenous communities made it their own. Especially after being forced off traditional lands, it became survival food, adaptable, transportable, and deeply symbolic. So while it started colonial, it became cultural, a powerful piece of indigenous food resilience. And at number 2, we have maple syrup, Canada's liquid gold. If Canada had a blood type, it would be type maple positive. Over 70% of the world's maple syrup is made here. Did you know it was indigenous people who first tapped the trees and boiled sap in a syrup long before the colonizers showed up with their pancakes? Maple syrup just isn't food. It's a symbol. It's on our money, our emojis, our hockey jerseys. It's literally the only national flag that looks edible. And finally, undoubtedly, the number 1 spot goes to, yeah, you guessed it right, Poutine, the delicious disaster. French fries, cheese curds, gravy, Canada's holy trinity of heart attacks and national pride. But here's the kicker. Poutine? It started as a kitchen accident, not a culinary masterpiece. Legend says in rural Quebec around 1957, a customer asked for fries with cheese curds and the owner blurted out, "Ça va faire une maudite poutine," which basically means that's gonna make a damn mess. Boom! Poutine was born with a side of attitude. At first, people called it a joke. Snack bars served it in paper bags. It was the fast food of shame. But here's the plot twist. Canadians fell in love with it anyway. By the 80s, it crossed out of Quebec, oozed into Ontario, and then the world. Today, even the McDonald's and the Burger Kings have it on their menus. Proof that even a hot mess can make it big. And get this, there's even a poutine festival in Montreal where chefs compete to make the wildest version. Foie gras poutine, vegan poutine, sushi poutine. Yes, poutine went from grease spoon to gourmet. Why does this matter? Because food isn't just calories, it's culture on a plate. Poutine is Canada's edible entity crisis. Born in French-speaking Quebec, loved by the English Canada, mocked, memed, and finally embraced by all. Like Canada itself, a little messy, proudly multicultural, and somehow it works. From the colonial survival breads to cheesy national messes. Canadian food isn't fancy, but it tells a story of land, identity, survival, pride, and sometimes a hangover cure with gravy on top. This is Brain and Belly, where history gets sauced and knowledge gets served. Don't forget to subscribe, because next episode, we're heading to our neighbors in the South. This is Brain and Belly, where we feed your hunger for food and knowledge, because we have a world of cuisine to explore that define nations, literally. Stay hungry.